Hi, this is Jamie Carmel. Welcome back to New Attitude with Jamie Carmel. It's been a while since I've done a video. This one's going to be an interesting one. We're going to stay away from the dating sites and stay away from my dates. We're going to talk about millennials today. Oh, Lord, I got a lot to say about millennials. Now, what's a millennium? Usually, there's so many different definitions of millenniums, but I'm going to put a link down there of a great video of this motivational speaker that describes millenniums to the T. And the way he describes it is anyone that's born from 1984 and above. 1984 and after. Millenniums. Now, everybody knows a millennium. Your children might be a millennium, right? We have to deal with them in the workplace all day long. Okay, let's see what's going on with millenniums. Now, just recently, I befriended a millennium. And I was so fascinated about him that I said, I have to do this video about him because it was just so interesting what came out of this person. Now, I won't out him. Young man, 24 years old. That's a millennium. And they're so, I don't know how to put it, but we're going to figure it out together, guys. All right. They're tough to manage. They're tough to manage. Now, everybody knows I have two stepdaughters. They are millenniums. One of them is 24 like him. The other one is 28. Always got to stop for this coffee. Now, the 28-year-old, she's very mature. She is a labor and delivery nurse, married, has a child. So she's a little bit out of the norm of a millennium. She's a hard worker and she's able to figure out what she wanted out of life. The younger one, probably more of a millennium. Not that I'm saying she's bad. She got married, just got married. Works at a normal, like, establishment, like a restaurant, her and her husband. No real, not to put it down bad, but no real future ambitions there. So you can see the difference about that. Now, let's dig in a little bit about millenniums. They're tough to manage. They're just tough to manage. I'm going to name 4 things about them. And we're going to break it up. They're entitled. They think they're entitled to everything. Mom and dad gave it to me, so you're going to give it to me. Now, that's the problem. What happens is they get entitled throughout their whole lives by mom and dad. And then once they get into the workplace is not going to entitle you. They're going to say, hey, what's up? You're going to be working or not? And then when it doesn't work out for them, well, I'm going to quit. That's it. Fuck them. I'm going to leave. Really? Yeah, I'll get another job. Where are these jobs coming from? Where is this other job you're going to get? So, they're entitled. They're lazy. Some of them are lazy. Some of them don't want to put the work in. Life's hard. Life is very hard. You have to work very hard to get where you want to be. They're narcissistic. It's a me generation. They said the 80s was a me generation. The me generation is right now. It's a me generation with them. They're narcissistic. It's all about them. It's not about anybody else but them. And they're self-centered. They don't care about another person's feelings. They don't care about another person. All it is what am I going to get? What's the instant gratification I'm going to get out of what I'm going through right now? Now, I met a very nice young man. Very mixed up. A millennium, but very mixed up. Has a tough life. Tough life ahead of him. And it's not easy. Not everybody gets to be my stepdaughter where she got to go to college, met her husband, got a great job, had a baby, got married. Not everyone's going to have that. But they want to make an impact. I know they do. I know this young man wants to make an impact and he wants to change his life, but it's just so hard. There's 4 things we're going to break down. And here's the 4 things. Number 1 is it's parenting. I don't know about you guys, but when my teacher would say to my parents that I was fucking up, my parents would be beating my head. Back then, through the millenniums, the parent was fighting the teacher. And that's not a good way to show kids. They show kids that they can get away with anything. Number 2, technology. I'm not going to say anything because I'm on a channel. But technology, it ruined everybody. Now, I grew up, there was no cell phones. We ran home. Woo! We got messages on the machine. Woo woo! When I got more than 10 messages, I was freaking out. Didn't have a cell phone. We had pay phones. What's a pay phone? We had a phone that was out there. You threw a couple of change in there and you were able to make a phone call. And depending on where you made it, sometimes it was expensive because if you were calling up the road, forget it. Number 3, impatient. They have no patience. They absolutely have zero tolerance for patience. They want everything yesterday. Listen, I get it. I want that too sometimes. But you gotta work for stuff. They don't want to work for nothing. They don't want to work for nothing. And number 4, we're going to talk about environment because environment has a big part of it. So what I noticed with this young man is that he was not happy. Working at a fast food restaurant, I won't be using any names, fast food restaurant, met him there. Looked like smart as a whip. He looked smart guy. 24 years old. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. I know. Listen to me, folks. I don't think it's wrong if you work at a fast food restaurant, if you're a fucking doctor, if you're whatever. A job is a job, right? But when you're 24 years old, when I was 24 years old, I was getting ready to go into the legal system. You know, still I didn't know anything from nothing. But I was ready to go into the legal system. They were molding me. I was, still in college, in the middle of, between colleges. You know, I was in college and I stopped and then I didn't finish my degree until I was 28. But what happened was I was able to get into the legal system. Listen, I didn't know ass from nothing, you know what I mean? And I was really young, very young. 28, 24, 25 is young. It's young. It's a young mentality. Especially when I see it today at 56. I met him at a fast food restaurant. Nice guy. Recognized me right away. Smiled at me. Gotta give him kudos. Listen. Smiled at me and I saw him and I smiled back and he was taking a break. We're probably getting ready to leave and he was outside and in the dining room area and I was leaving and he says, "Hey, have a nice day." You too. Now, when I was 24 years old, I don't think I had the guts to do those things. I really don't. I mean, I was gutsy back then, you know. Going through the legal system, learning how to become a woman, become an adult. You know, it was tough. Things that I never knew how to really be, I was being taught how to do that. So I was like, that's pretty damn gutsy. Fast forward a week or two later, I went back. Happened to be back at this fast food restaurant again. And there he was, smiling, and he recognized me. Hey, listen, how could you miss this hair, you know? And I waited. Had my little snack treat. Not 100% keto. And he went, put his stuff down, he was leaving. And I gave him my number. I didn't know how old he was. I really didn't. I mean, as far as I knew, he could have been 17. 17 is legal in the state of Florida, by the way. Anyway, make a long story short, we got together, we hung out, but I learned so much from this person. What I noticed is he had no patience. He had no patience about anything. He says, my boss is now turning my schedule around. I used to open up, now I'm closing, or whatever they do in fast food restaurants. And I said, well, why? Why is that? He says, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, put me on the night shift. I don't care. I'll make it inconvenience for them. Dude, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. This is what I said. Go to him. Say, listen, John, or whatever the hell the boss's name is. John, I want to talk to you. What's going on? What happened? I used to open up for you. Am I doing something wrong? Have a dialogue. These kids don't want to have a dialogue. I noticed they don't want confrontation. They don't want to have a confrontation. And it doesn't happen. It's not necessarily a confrontation. It's actually going out, getting your balls out, and talking. So I said, do that. I said, talk to him. Find out why did he give it to someone else? Why you lost it? The next day he was like, oh, I texted him and he didn't answer me. Really, dude? You text him? I told you to go and talk to him. Eye contact. Find out what's going on. What is wrong with these kids? So, make a long story short, he said that the boss said it was his attitude. It's their attitude. Now, everybody knows I'm a nurse. Love the people I work with. Have some great, solid workers. But we got a couple of people that they got the fuck me's. I don't care. I'm leaving. I don't like this schedule. I don't like this shift. I don't like this set. I'm going home. Really? Really? I've never done that in my entire fucking life. I've always worked in jobs where I worked in banking, I worked in retail, I worked in all different kind of jobs. I've never said, fuck it, I'm going home. This is not what I like. You know what they would have said to me back then? See ya, don't let the door hit your ass. But today, they just get so many free passes. My boss gives them so many free passes. Okay, go home. Relax. Go relax. Go lay down a little bit. And then come back tomorrow. WTF. So we're going to go over those 4 things. Parents. Now, I don't know about your parents, but my parents believed everything the fucking teacher said, even when it was wrong and a lie. And believe me, back then teachers lied. My parents would beat the shit out of me if a teacher said something, if I did something wrong. But what happened was, through the millennium stage, is like, Johnny got a D. Well, hey, listen, I don't want my Johnny to have a D. You better turn that D into a B. And there would be like this whole big kerfuffle and a whole big fight with the teacher. And teachers don't want to lose their job, during those times. Listen, the teachers of my days, they were fucking like friggin' Nazis. They didn't give a crap. So the teachers would conform and say, okay, yeah, I'll give Johnny a B. I don't want any problems. Politically correct. That's the problem, being politically correct. So Johnny got the B. Johnny didn't earn the B. Johnny was a D, but Johnny got the B. And then you go to these things. Everybody has to have an award. My stepkids were little. They did that same shit too. What about the kid that really earned the award? Let's give it to the schmucky kid that didn't really deserve it. We'll give him an award too. You know what that sends to a child? It sends to a child, I don't really have to work for anything because I'm going to get it anyway. This is the misformer. This is what's going to happen when they get into the real work world. They're not going to realize, listen, mom and pop corporate, they don't care. They don't fucking give a shit about you. Like this kid at the fast food. Listen, you got an attitude. I'm going to switch your schedule. I can't deal with attitudes. They're running a corporation. It's a very famous fast food restaurant. I won't name it. I don't want to out anybody. Very famous fast food restaurant. Let's get your act together. You don't got time for attitudes. Do that attitude adjustment real quick. So parents, they weren't tough like our parents. My parents would beat the crap out of us if we did anything like that. Anything like that. Even up to the age of until I was 24, like this kid. Now, on a small note, I have to admit, this kid has a really bad family life. Listen, family structure is very, very important. If you don't have family structure, it's just pretty much demolished. You know, when you got step parents and then mom works, dad doesn't work, and you got all these step kids around and who's on drugs and who's drinking. I mean, you got to deal with the nonsense and the craziness. We're on 15 minutes, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep this video short. We might have to do it in a two-parter, but I don't want to. Technology. Now, since I've been doing this channel, I realize that I'm on my phone 24/7 sometimes. 24/7. Texting, email, Facebook, Instagram. Listen, technology is fantastic. We didn't have that when I was growing up back then. And for me, I think it's the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. And these kids, they're grown into it. They learn it like as they're growing up. So they're good at it. Click, click, click. This kid was like texting with two hands. I still can't text with two hands. I got to text with one. Technology. It's at their fingertips. But they're not using it right. Technology is good if you use it right. What am I doing now? I'm trying to bring information to people. But sometimes technology just works against them. It works against them. Nobody wants to talk anymore. They put their phone down. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, I got a text. Oh, I got to read it. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, I got a phone call. Hello? Let's have a conversation. Let's communicate. Nobody wants to communicate anymore. Everybody just... One time I was meeting up with this young kid last week. I was in a Starbucks. And I was in there, and of course I was on my phone. But I was by myself. Saw this young couple come in. Young couple, maybe in their 30s. Hey, you want to sit over there? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's sit over there. Hey, do you want anything to drink? No, I'm all right. But what did I see those two doing? They're both on their phones. He's sitting there, she's sitting there, and click, 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 click. They're not even talking. They're not even saying two words to each other. I mean, I could see if there's a cup of coffee in front of them. Nothing. Nothing. Like, why are you sitting in Starbucks? You can do that in your fucking house. We don't have to see you sitting there clicking on your phone. You two are not, literally not connecting. There's no connection. So technology is really probably the downfall of these millenniums. Great invention, not know how to work. Not know when to say when. And I'm just as at fault to it. But I didn't have that growing up. So to me, it's all new. It's very enticing for me. This is hard stuff, guys. Number 3, impatience. They have patience of nothing. They are so impatient, and it isn't funny. This guy is into bodybuilding. Wants to be a professional bodybuilder. Well, did you look into some schools? Well, right now I'm just working out. I'm just thinking, I'm going to try to see if I can do it, God, I just want this job to be the way I want it to be. And just there's no patience. They want everything yesterday. Now, have I done that growing up? Of course I have. We all have done that. We all want everything yesterday. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to have patience. You have to have hard work. You have to have a plan. You have to figure out what the hell is going on next. They have no patience. They can't deal with stress. This kid couldn't deal with nothing. And now I understand he had a bad family life. But didn't we all at one point, didn't we all have a bad family life? But we all worked through it. I mean, I got 2 college degrees through it. I mean, I don't know how that happened. We all did it. Listen, my second college degree, I was like, my marriage was ending. This kid doesn't have this. He has a family life that's really fucked up, but he has nobody that he has to answer to. Just totally impatient. Doesn't have true connections. They have friends, and the way he described his friends, well, he's my brother, and this one's my brother, and this one's, he's going to look out for me, and that one's going to look out for me. No one's going to look out for you, dude. You know who's going to look out for you? Go into the bathroom, look into the mirror, and look at that person that's in the mirror. That's who's going to look out for you. You. You're going to look out for you. Nobody else is going to look out for you. He's going to get me a job in construction. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. Flip a couple of burgers and wait it out. Did you think about filling out other applications? I'm not really good at filling out applications. I'll help you. Yeah, I guess. I appreciate it. Really? Number 4, environment. Environment. It's not the same as when I was growing up. It's a different world now. It's a dangerous world. You know, not only do they have to live with such chaos in this world, they have to live with the technology and the constant no fulfillment in their lives. They just don't feel it. They just don't feel it. They have no purpose. There's like no purpose. They must be working on something, but they're not. They're just stagnant. They're just like, I know I got to do this, like him. I want to do this bodybuilding. I'm working, I mean, terrific shape. He's definitely a bodybuilder, but not really putting focus on it, not really eating properly, or figuring out how am I going to be and like, I would have like looked into schools, figure out how can I get my certification to be a professional bodybuilder, professional trainer in a gym. How do I do that? None of that. Very, very low self-esteem. Now this kid had really low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell at first. But he pretty much admitted it. And they pretty much do admit it. Millennials pretty much tell you they have no self-esteem. Because they put everything on Facebook. Everything's great. We're having a good time. We're hanging out with friends. And all this. And then sometimes they'll put immune up that they're depressed and they lost their girlfriend and they did this. And they just have no path in life. So, we're going on to 22 minutes. What's the story with millennials? What happens to these people? Now, in the video I'm going to attach to this, the guy talks about no fault of their own. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree on that. Probably no fault of their own because their parents let them get away with a lot of shit. But don't you reach a certain age where you're pretty much responsible for your own welfare and your own well-being? I'm a big advocate about that. When you're a kid, you have no responsibility because your parents, you have no control over what your parents did to you. But when you reach an adulthood, you are 100% responsible for your own life, your own reactions to your life, your own conclusions to your life, and how you want to mold your life to be. Anyway, I thought this video was very, very good. I hope it would help you. Tell me about some of the millennials in your life. I like to know because some of them, they're excellent. They're outgoing. They're go-getters. They're hardworking kids. And some of them, we're smoking pot here. We're playing video games. Hey, Mom, throw some more pizza rolls in the oven. I don't know. This is Jamie Carmel with New Attitude with Jamie Carmel. Oh my God, we're going to have more videos. This was really, really interesting. Millennials. Oh, Lord have mercy. These kids, they're going to drive us crazy. Thank you for tuning. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs like button if you like this. Please let me know about the millennials in your life. This is Jamie Carmel with New Attitude with Jamie Carmel. Have a fantastic day. Until the next video. Have a great day.